brand new magazine print. You know, when you open adult magazines as a kid, you take off the tear top and you've got that fresh magazine print or whatever. Hello and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. And as you've probably seen by the thumbnail, it is time to have another rare malt. Another beautiful day, another rare malt. Shit. So, this one is a 1972 Glendullan. Glendullan is from Dufftown. It is still currently active from Dufftown. And it is one of the main heart malts for, I believe, Old Par whiskey. So, I don't believe there is a huge amount of distillery bottlings by Glendullan. I haven't seen much of them. We haven't really gravitated towards them, but here we go. So this is mainly used, like most Diageo distilleries actually, they're mainly used for blends. Now, this particular distillery, for their single malt whiskey, they actually age the barrels on site. So that means, that indicates to me that for the blended shit, they ship it all into a central place. Probably one of those big dark warehouses with like robots taking barrels and stuff, blending stuff. Who knows? Who knows? I'm speculating with zero facts on that regard. But what I can tell you is this. I've never had a Glendullan on this channel before. And I have not reviewed a rare malt Glendullan or any Glendullan at all before. In fact, I think I've only had one Glendullan ever. Maybe not even. So, there you go. We have so many whiskies, sometimes hard to remember what I've had, but this is definitely the first review of Glendullan I've had. So let's get pouring and listen to that sound. Listen to the sound. Tight. All right, not much left in there. I'm going to put it into a sample bottle after this review. Let's get nose. Oh wait, that's a 62.43%. Whew, 62.43%, 1972. Bottled in. When is it bottled? Man, I always find it hard to freaking find when it's bottled. Whatever. Anyway, 23 years old from 70s. Okay, 95. Whew. Shit, that's actually, just to note as well, in our rare malts night that we had, this was the surprise. Everyone voted this one as a surprise amongst Tenenic, Linkwood, Brora, Kalila. This was a surprise. I don't quite recall why it was. Probably tells you that I got shit faced, but this was a surprise. So let's. Whoa. Nail polish remover, brand new magazine print. You know, when you open adult magazines as a kid, you take off the tear top and you've got that fresh magazine print, or whatever magazine you buy. But that's just because, you know, it's in a bag, so it's sealed in freshness, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Woo! That is definitely fresh magazine print. It's got a little bit of an acetone, a little bit of a nail polish remover note to it. Let me just let it breathe and give it a chance to express itself. It's like a millennial. It needs to express itself. Eat, pray, shit. Ooh, okay. The nose is very powerful. I'm not getting a huge amount from the nose, so I'm just going to let it breathe, okay? I'm gonna, for editing purposes, it's gonna skip. Alright, let's breathe a little bit. Let's get nosing again. Alright, schnapps. Pear schnapps. Some elderflower. There's a green to it. Can't put my finger on it. Can't put my finger on the green, but I'm thinking, I know this sounds weird, but when you're cutting a cabbage, you've got that cabbage smell. Brussels sprouts, a bit strange. But definitely a pear schnapps. Followed by a little bit of menthol. Green apple, artificial green apple flavoring. You know when you have candy that's artificially flavored green apple. Talcum powder. Dried apricot. White pepper. Burnt sugar. Burnt butter. Burnt butter's coming through. Very, very dry humidor cedar. Dry cedar. You know when it's been shut for a while but you haven't humidified it. So it's got like a slight funk to it, but it's dry. There's a salinity to it. I don't know where it's coming from. Because now it's breathed a little bit, I'm getting a lot of coal smoke coming through now. Like a faint, distant coal smoke. Now I know this sounds really weird, but there is CK1 I can smell. Sounds weird, I know, but CK1, you know, CK1 is so distinctive. There's that powdery baby talc kind of fragrance in the CK1. Strange. How strange is that? And I'm getting a salinity. I mean, Dufftown, God knows why I'm getting salinity out of that, but getting salinity for sure. I'm getting a faint hint of bacon frying, or more like actually bacon in the oven. Not quite that direct heat, but in the oven, someone's making some streaky bacon in the oven, and you've got that water steam that comes off that. What a ride. Whoa, what a nose. Holy shit, what a nose. Woo! What a nose. I'm getting a spice come through. I'd say freshly crushed black pepper. Just freshly crushed black pepper. Not ground like to a powder, but crushed in a mortar and pestle. That kind of nose. Fantastic. What a complex nose. That was a hell of a ride to wherever the fuck town it is. Everywhere. Like a Turkish bazaar. Let's get sipping. Excited. Let's get sipping. I'm a little bit moist. Woo! What a punch. Whoa. And as usual, mouth coating, mouth salivating. It's like someone's grabbing my tongue, pulling it out, and then shoving their fist inside. It is a good morning. Good morning. That is 10:30 and a rare malt. I love it. Viscous, powerful. I can't stop salivating. I'm still tasting it. And let me take you through that. Smoke. Coal smoke, wood fire, a distant coal and wood fire. I'm not sure if that is peated or there's residual peat in that. I can't be sure, but smoke is quite prominent. Quite a hot smoke. Black pepper, for sure. Black pepper for sure. Very herbal, very spicy. Let's start with the herbs that I'm getting in there. Actually, it is like a cough syrup. Quite medicinal, like a cough syrup. A bit like mixing Vicks Formula 44 and a little bit of Robitussin. You know, it's like what I call hillbilly whiskey, when you can't afford proper whiskey, so you just go to the pharmacy and you get yourself some cough syrup and you get your kicks out of that. It's like that. Woo! Wet hay. I smell of wet hay. Wet leather. Wet fresh leather. That freshly tanned, treated leather. New fabric smell. That magazine print has kind of mellowed down on the palate, like a more of a fabric, like a fresh fabric. You know, when you go to a market and it's just selling fabric, you know, it kind of reminds me, I just been to Korea and there are markets there that just sells fabric and sewing shit, and that's what I'm getting out of that. Just fabric, just whether it's pleather, whether it's cotton, whether it's polyester, whatever the hell fabric they've got there, it just smells like that symphony of fabric. I'm just deriving from a taste memory. It's got a spice to it, like a greenness. I would say a jalapeno, but not a fresh jalapeno, like a vinegared jalapeno. It's got that greenness, but a sourness to it as well, like a pickled nature. Oh, wow! Very medicinal, very herbal, spicy. Not much sweetness going on, but there definitely is some vanilla in there, some vanilla. Probably from a bourbon hoggy. Not sure, but probably from a bourbon hoggy, but not a huge amount. There's some wet hay, some leather. Oh. There's a tartness and dryness to it. Oh, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to think. Tartness and dryness and powdery. What is something like that? But yeah, it's tart. It's a little bit tart. It's a little dry. It's powdery. It smells like tasting fresh, like freshly varnished wood. You know when you've got like a freshly varnished wooden bench in the park and you like lick it. We've all done that, haven't we? You lick that wood. Wow, that is a very, very different rare malt, very different expression I've had. It's not palatable, but it's definitely delicious, if that makes sense. It's like century egg. It's like Sichuan noodle soup. It's a bit of a challenge, but it just rewards you. That is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Have you had a rare malt Glendullan before? Let me know your thoughts. Man, that is such a different kind of Glendullan. I don't know if I've ever had anything like it, but nonetheless, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. That is not medical advice, but it might as well be. Cheers.